want to show you all of our multiplication materials that you can use for learning whether your child is still counting objects or if they are already into the equation stage. So starting on our tabletop shelf, we're going to be here at the top with the large multiplication geoboard. This one is great for seeing groups, and that helps the child to understand what's happening. So on it we have 6 times 4. What we'll do is use a rubber band to capture 6 pegs, and then we're going to go up 4 of these rows. So now we have 6 times 4, and it captured 24 pegs. And if your child doesn't know that already, and we'll put the 24 here, then they can count them. And the thing is, you can count by columns in groups or by rows in groups. So if you're going to do by columns, you'll go 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Or you can mix it up and you can count by, switch it around. It can be 4 by 6, and then we can do 4 groups of 6. So 6, 12, 18, 24. And then if we're going to do 6 times 5, we'll just go up a row, and that way we have now 6 times 5, and that made it 30. And once again, you can count it, by your groups of 6 or by your groups of 5, whether it's a row or a column. So that's a really quick way to show why those numbers change each time when you add 6 times 5, 6 times 6, 6 times 7, because it's changing the group. On this shelf, we have our multiplication circles. So this is for the child to do a 9 times table or an 8. You can switch the number in the middle. So you multiply by this number, and then we have 1 through 10. So 9 times 1 is 9, 9 times 2 is 18, 9 times 3 is 27, and then they would have to keep going on their own. 9 times 4 is 36, 9 times 5 is 45. So they'll practice skip counting around the outside and doing multiplication and also division. If you're going to do 45 divided by 5 is 9, 36 divided by 4 is 9. And then if you want to make it a little more challenging, just mix your numbers up here. So as the child goes around, then it's a little more of a challenge. It's no longer skip counting here, but it's just focused on the multiplication. Oh, 9 times 6, that's not 45, that's 54. So that's a fun way to practice it, and you can do up to 10 times tables in that. This is for those who are doing equations, and it's a really great way to demonstrate those. So this is the place value board, and I have 29 times 7 equals. So we'll work our problem. 7 times 9 is 63. So the 3 goes here. And then the child might want to be like 63, but nope, you have to put it at the top of the column. And then we'll use a plus symbol so that they know that when they get to this number, they're going to add it. So now 7 times 2 is 14, and then add that 6 is 20. And so you'll put your 20 here, and that gives you 29 times 7 equals 203. And you can do any equation on here, and since it is a place value board, you can make larger numbers and longer multiplication sequences. So that one's good for equations. On the 100 frame, you can use objects to demonstrate your times tables. So here I have the 4 times table going up to 40. And for each of these columns, I filled it with stones so the child can see that it's not just 4, 8, 12. It's because we have 4 stones, and then we add another group of 4 and another group of 4. And then if you want to do your multiplication equation, we could say 4 times 4, and then they would see that they have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups. That makes 16, because now we have 16 stones. So that would be 16, or you could do 4 times 5 and then see that that would be 20. And just using the objects to count individually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or learn to count by skip counting 4, 8, 12, 16. So that one uses objects to demonstrate multiplication. This is the geometry card. I pulled out the number 9 from the set, but you get numbers 1 through 10. And these are great for doing patterns and shapes. So on the geometry card, you'll fill it up with pegs. For the youngest children, this is a counting activity, so they can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then as you continue learning, it also tells you that the shape is a nonagon. It's the number 9 in written form, in numeral form, and Roman numeral form. And on here, we're going to show 3 times 3 equals 9 using these rubber bands, because you can create triangles on the shape. So one triangle gives you 3, and then another triangle will give you another 3, so 3 plus 3 is 6, and one more triangle will give you your 9. So that shows you that 3 triangles with 3 points equals 9, 3 times 3. So beautiful shapes that you'll discover in here, shapes within shapes and patterns. And on the back, you have this reference of the 9 times table that we did up here. So if your child is not ready to do this in their mind, then they can practice on the card as they memorize it. So 9, 18, 27, 36, 45 to learn their multiplication. And the division, once again, 45 divided by 5 is 9. So that is your geometry card set, really nice for your patterns and shapes. This is a multiplication circle, and on it you'll practice your skip counting. This is doing your 4s, and so I'll show you how that works. So if we're going to count by 4s, we have these little notches in the side of the peg. So we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I just wrapped around to do the 4 times table, and then that shows me that if I count my pegs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 times 4 equals 20, because that's the number we stopped on. You can keep going if you want to do 21, 22, 23, 21, 22, 23, 24, or 25, 26, 27, 28, and it's just going to keep going around creating the pattern again. So that is great for learning patterns and skip counting around it. Over here I've put a bunch of numbers in a bag, and this would be for quick multiplication. So here I've done 5 times 8 equals 40, and then we'll just throw this back in the bag. And this is just a fun little game that the children can do. So 2 times 3, and you put that on the board. 2 times 3 equals 6, and keep putting your numbers back in and doing it again. So all of these are great tactile ways to make multiplication fun for the child, and then you can use it with what you've already learned, or doing your shapes and patterns, or doing your objects. Whatever stage that the child is at, these materials will give you a fun way to practice it.